Hello out there, guys. How are you all doing? Welcome back, as always, to Rule of Two Review. So really quickly, before I get into the couple of news topics I wanted to talk about, you are probably realizing you are right now looking at footage of Ultra Street Fighter 2 on the Nintendo Switch. And a couple of people mentioned on Twitter that they wanted to hear me talk about it or asked me to make like a full video discussing it. And I don't know that I want to do that, but I figured I would just touch on it real quick, and I'll just tell you guys that honestly, I'm loving this game. It's everything that I wanted out of it, but that's kind of the key thing. I have to say, probably for most people, I don't know that I could necessarily recommend it because, yes, it's 40 bucks. I only paid $30 because I got it through Amazon Prime and I got the discount, so that was great. Definitely worth the $30 price in my eyes. But for a lot of people, $40 for what this game is might be a little bit too expensive, and I do understand why. I will say, there's not as many modes and different ways to play through the game as I was kind of expecting. It's semi-bare bones feeling. I've yet to try the Way of the Hado mode, which I am very curious to do for fun's sake, but I know it's not supposed to be very deep. Honestly though, guys, the reason I'm loving it and totally happy with my purchase is I've just been craving these types of simpler, more old school experiences, you know, and you're watching me play right now, and you're probably noticing I'm super not good at this game. I'm not very good at these kinds of fighters anymore. It's been way too long since my skills were so honed back when I would play it like on the Genesis and Super Nintendo and back in the arcades when I was like super into these and really good at them. I'm not really good anymore, so you're watching me kind of suck. I also am playing a couple of characters here on purpose that I'm not very good with, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm loving the game because I'm just wanting to play these types of more old school experiences. It reminds me of the 16-bit and arcade era, and that's exactly what I wanted out of it, and it's doing that fantastically. The new graphics and new music and sounds are freaking awesome. So I am loving this game, and if you know what you're getting into, I would recommend you definitely check it out or pick it up. For the average person who just wants a new Switch game, I just don't know that you're going to get all that much out of it, and it's kind of a shame, but that doesn't mean it's not still a great game, and it was well worth the money I paid for it. I am super loving it. Anywho, on to the goods. Let's talk about these games that have me really excited today. And it's kind of funny because this is the third video in a row where I have two specific game titles to talk about in one video. That is just a really weird coincidence. And the other crazy coincidence is this first game is so exciting to me for all of the same reasons that Beyond Good and Evil 2 was a couple of days ago, because this is another sequel to one of my favorite underrated franchises of all time that we really never thought we'd ever see another entry in, just like with Beyond Good and Evil. And here we are talking about this game today, and I'm surprised it's not making a bigger splash and more people aren't talking about this, but that's apparently the way it goes. What I'm talking about is it was finally confirmed by Suda51 himself, the man, one of my favorite people to develop a video game ever, that we are getting No More Heroes 3 and Travis Touchdown returning. Oh my freaking god, so excited. So what happened here was apparently Suda51 was conducting an interview with a company called Source Gaming, and in that interview they basically discussed with him deciding to make a new game for the Switch and the fact that apparently it's No More Heroes 3 and Travis is coming back, and why he decided to do that. It's a really great interview. I've read probably most of it. I definitely haven't read every single thing he said, but the parts where he's talking about No More Heroes 3 is what got me really excited, and that's what I want to quickly read for you guys here today. He was, of course, asked by Source Gaming, "You recently announced No More Heroes 3 for the Switch. Was there a particular feature of the Switch that inspired you to return to this series?" He then goes on to answer, "The Switch has a lot of cool features. It really reminded me of when I first heard of the Wii and decided to bring No More Heroes out for that system. That's why I decided to go with the Switch for No More Heroes 3. It also seemed like a good place to revive Travis Touchdown. The game is not necessarily called No More Heroes 3. We haven't made the title official or anything, but in general, that's why I chose the Switch." Okay. So you guys, this is crazy. This is a huge deal, and like I said at the beginning of the video, how more people aren't talking about this, I don't even know. I guess I should probably just realize that at the end of the day, I'm one of a very small group of people that finds the news about No More Heroes 3 to be like mind-blowingly, earth-shatteringly amazing. Obviously, this isn't the same as confirming a new Metroid, you know, or a new Grand Theft Auto, or when Red Dead and stuff was confirmed. It's not the same, and I guess I get that. But for me, within my world, in Rob's little world, in my bubble, this is almost as big as when we saw the new Zelda for the first time, and whenever we do see the new Metroid and these kinds of things, it's that big for me. I am so freaking excited, and it's crazy because they basically, I don't know if Source Gaming here was just sort of jumping to a conclusion and just wanted to call him out and see what his response was, and then got what they were looking for, because that question was literally just like, so you're making No More Heroes 3, that's a game you're making, and it's coming out on the Switch, confirmed. that's a thing that's happening, right? Why didn't you talk about it? I mean, they just put that out there, and then he just went for it, and he basically said all these things. It is coming to the Switch. It is a game with Travis Touchdown. It likely could be No More Heroes 3. And that is amazing. And in a lot of ways, we kind of knew to expect this, and of course, we know the reason Source Gaming probably jumped to that question was because Suda51 was present in Tokyo in January for Nintendo's Switch reveal event, the official one, and we know that he tried to talk to the world, and of course the translation wasn't very good, so those of us who do not speak Japanese did not get a very good English translation. But regardless, Suda51 was there, talking about working with Nintendo, talking about the Switch, making his new game with a picture of Travis Touchdown behind him. A brand new picture of Travis that was not of the same art style we'd previously seen him in, which basically lended credence to the idea of Travis is coming back, a new version of him in probably a No More Heroes 3 game. And this is really, honestly, the bulk of what I wanted to talk about with this story. I just can't believe that it was so nonchalantly confirmed, which is, again, just what happened with Beyond Good and Evil 2 a couple of days ago. It was so nonchalant, and it's like, these, in my world, these two stories should be making, like, front-page headlines of every gaming outlet ever, and very few people are talking about it. I'm the only one dorking out about this right now, and I'm totally fine with that, man. I'm a fanboy of these two series, and Jade and Travis are, respectively, two of my favorite gaming characters of all time. And I have to say, they're probably my two favorite non-Nintendo gaming characters, which is also a big deal. Even though, of course, No More Heroes, yes, it was exclusive to the Wii, it's not a Nintendo character. So, I don't know, this is really amazing, you guys. I really am curious what you have to say about this, if you're excited as I am or not. The first No More Heroes game was such a crazy, cool revolution to me, and I loved the style, and I loved the dialogue and character of Travis, and how that game and that story was put together, and the world of Santa Destroy was so much fun. I hope we're coming back to Santa Destroy in this third game. And if we're going to see it at E3 next month, man, I don't know if we're yet going to see it. It seems like he, just like Michel Ancel with Beyond Good and Evil, are probably waiting till a little bit later. I was even asked this on the Q&A I did a couple of days ago. I would think maybe this game would be officially shown and revealed at TGS, Tokyo Game Show, later in the year, but who knows? There's a possibility that this is officially shown next month, and maybe he's talking about it or allowed to talk about it now because it will be revealed at E3 in just a few weeks, and so now it's like, well, let's start kind of dripping out the hype and the confirmed facts about this now, and then at E3, Nintendo will probably finally show us the deal. And I shouldn't maybe say just Nintendo. There's a possibility this is a multi-platform game, but it sounds like it's being discussed as a Nintendo Switch exclusive experience, and I sure hope so. I think that Suda did some really cool and innovative things with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck for the first two games, and I'd love to see what he can do with the Switch and those Joy-Cons. Now, one more quick thing I want to talk about is this story surrounding Splatoon 2 and the voice chat situation, which, if anyone can remember how the past few years have played out, there's a little bit of controversy when it comes to Splatoon and voice chat. When the first game was coming out, many of us probably remember it was a big deal that they said there's going to be no voice chat, and a lot of people on the internet absolutely lost their damn minds over that. And it's like, to a small degree, I understand. At the end of the day, I think voice chat should be in Splatoon. I think it should have been in that first game, and I think it should be in the sequel. And I get it. It should be an option and a feature that's made available. But with that first game, it didn't happen, and some people got very upset. Luckily, it didn't affect the reception or sales of the game, and to me, it didn't affect the quality of the game. That game is freaking great. I love the gameplay, and I'm really excited for Splatoon 2. I've talked about this. I think Splatoon 2, I don't know why, but I'm just so excited to see how this game is going to play out, and I'm so excited to have a game like this on my brand new Nintendo Switch. So I think it's going to be fantastic. What happened with the voice chat situation with Splatoon 2 is a little bit different in that Nintendo confirmed that there will be voice chat, but it's only going to be for people who are already friends with. And this is making another much smaller controversy. I think it's still a little bit controversial. People are discussing it. Luckily, nowhere near what happened with that first game, and I think that's good. But of course, with Nintendo and their online service coming into Splatoon 2, there's a lot of questions about what happens once we start paying for it. How is the service going to change? How does voice chat fit into the paid version of the service? How does it fit into the mobile app that we know is, probably going to be like the foundation of Nintendo's online service? And that's a whole new thing that we don't know is going to play out. So how does this all work? But let's quickly get into what was quoted by one of the game's producers about the voice chat situation. He says, "There's no need for concern. The reason we included voice chat is because we wanted users who already know each other to enjoy the game more deeply using a communication tool that's linked to the game. Voice chat can only be used when playing with someone you know, such as in private matchmaking. Voice chat with someone you don't know in random matchmaking won't happen. So there you go, basically confirming what I was already laying out. There will be voice chat in the game. It's going to have something to do with the mobile app. Nintendo has confirmed that as well. But you can't just voice chat with random people in the matchmaking lobby or when you're in a game and someone who you don't actually know on your friends list. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I ultimately feel about this, you guys. I think this is totally fine. I mean, there's a myriad reasons why this is totally fine for me. But the main reason's probably pretty obvious, and I'm willing to bet a lot of you guys feel the same way as well. Talking to random people really isn't usually the best experience online. Even in Nintendo games, even on Nintendo consoles, all of the different history, ever since after the first few years where online gameplay for consoles and voice chat for consoles was introduced. At first it was cool, people were kind of really nice and neat to each other and it was totally fine. But as the years gone on and people got more accustomed to it and younger gamers started getting on as well, the conversations and the people have just become too toxic, you know. And I know there's even the conversation about a lot of female gamers even deal with even worse stuff than maybe the average male gamer, and that's a whole different conversation, but I do think that there's something there to that. So it's like, do we really have to be worried about whether or not we can talk to random people? I mean, at the end of the day, and I'll say this, you guys, at the end of the day, if I could just pick how this would play out, it would be, don't put any limitations on it. Just put it out there. Just let it be normal voice chat. You can voice chat to whoever, whenever, however, whyever. You could just do it. That's probably the ideal way to do it, yes. But considering Nintendo goes about things a little bit differently, and typically in the past we haven't even seen this much given to us, I think this is fine. And honestly, I know the people I'd be playing Splatoon with. It's going to be, you know, all my buddies from the podcast, from the Juice is Loose, a few other people I know in real life, my younger brother. These are the people who I would just, you know, regularly want to talk to with my voice when I'm playing Splatoon 2. I don't really care about talking to random people. When the first game was coming out, the big controversy was, oh, how are you going to coordinate your efforts as a team if you can't talk to each other in Splatoon? Well, gee, come to find out, you don't really need to be able to talk to people when you've got a 3-minute match that's complete and utter freaking chaos, and you don't have time to have that much strategy. All you need is access to your own map, your own ability to warp and jump around, and then you just splat the hell out of everything and try to kill people. Like, that's all you needed to do. Like, as great as the game is and as fun as the mechanics are, it's not that deep. It's not like a Rainbow Six or a Ghost Recon. Like, there isn't that level of strategy and cooperative play to this game. It's really not. It's like, it's only 3 minutes and it's pandemonium once the match starts. Just let that happen and have fun with your Inkling. Like, go. You don't need to be able to talk to everyone to make sure you're having a good time. Again, reminding you guys, I still don't think that we should be that restricted. At the end of the day, it would be nice to still just be able to talk and just BS and make random goofy noises while you're talking to people as you're getting your butt kicked. Sure, you know, that is fun, and I'm excited to do it again with the people I know, but I just don't think this is a big deal. Honestly, most people in this world, in this life that we live, playing video games in 2017, most people would only ever want to talk to people that they already know. The end. That's just it. Yes, you listening to this right now, maybe one of the few people that wants to talk to any person. Maybe you're one of the douchebags that's typically talking crap to people that makes everyone else not want to talk to random people. And that's why you're mad, because you're not going to be able to be a douchebag to random people on Splatoon 2. And if that's the case, bye-bye. No one cares. You're not going to be able to talk to people. Like, no one needs to talk to you. For everyone else, I do think it sucks that you maybe want this feature genuinely to have fun with it and it's being kept from you. But hey, at least we're going to be able to talk to the people that we actually know. And I think that that's still going to make the game a big hit. Anyway, some pretty exciting news about two really big games that I am crazy pumped for. I guess you could say the Splatoon 2 thing maybe isn't necessarily exciting. I'm just glad some form of voice chat's going to be there, and I'm excited to chat with my buddies and everyone from the podcast and my younger brother and stuff when this game comes out. I think it's going to be a blast. And No More Heroes. My goodness. Oh my lordy. I'm just, whew, I can't believe how excited I am for that game. It's going to be so cool. I really hope that it is revealed at E3 next month. I don't necessarily expect it. I would more think TGS, like I said, but who knows? It depends on how far along the game is. Maybe Suda had just started to work on it, you know, before the January event. Maybe it's in early production, or maybe it's been being worked on for a year or two, and it's, you know, ready to show next month, and maybe we're going to get it by the end of the year or something. That would be really crazy, but I'm so excited. The mighty return of Travis Touchdown. I cannot wait. What do you guys think about these pieces of news? Are you also excited about the fact that No More Heroes 3 was actually confirmed by the man himself? And do you think this voice chat thing for Splatoon 2 is a good idea or a bad idea? Does it make you mad, or are you just totally, you know, don't even care about it? Doesn't mean anything to you? Share your thoughts about these fun things below, and that's it. Thanks as always for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I will catch you next time on another video.